how do I set up a box and whisker plot for a set of data?
Okay. If you have already made it through high school, this is something that you may have not learned how to do. However, it is now one of the things that middle schoolers have to learn how to do in math to make a box and whisker plot. If you cut to my screen, I set up kind of an example so that I could show you this. It looks really complicated. It's not really all that hard. But this is a box and whisker plot. It's that kind of like bat wing looking shape. And what it does is it basically shows, it's a visual a visual representation of the spread of your data. And so you can see where that box, that middle box is where most of your data is. And so what it does is it shows you where most people are. If you're maybe analyzing test data, you're showing what most people, where most people scored, or it shows you a lot of where most of your data is. So what I did on the right-hand side of the screen is I just made a list of data. And I'm going to show you with this list of data how you would create a box and whisker plot. The first thing that I would do is put the data in order. So 12 would be first, and I cross them out, or I'll make dots next to them or something like that, just because really being a middle school teacher for 5 years, the biggest mistakes that I noticed with data problems is in recopying that data and putting it in order. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is you end up forgetting one of them, or you'll write one more than once, or something like that. And if you cross them off as you go, that ends up helping you get them put in order. And you actually also can see, so I already missed one, I missed this 11. And so it helps you kind of narrow it down and helps you to be able to see that a little bit better. So then once you get your data in order, at that point, then we want to decide what all of these parts are. So we need to know the lowest value, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the highest value. Those are the 5 parts we need to know. Lowest value and highest value, those are relatively easy, so we'll do those first. Lowest value being 11, it's going to be your first one, and then the highest value being 18. Median is going to be the one in the middle. And the way that I remember that is the median. Think about if you're driving down the highway and you think about where is the median? Well, the median is what separates the 2 lanes. It's what is in the middle. And so that kind of can help you, I guess, figure out how to do it or what that is math-wise. So if I'm finding the one in the middle, you might have seen this method where you're crossing them off as you go. I like to put dots because really we still need to read those numbers. All right, so once you know and you found what is in the middle, and then in this case it's going to be 14, that's our median. Lower quartile is going to be the median of the bottom half of your data. And so when we're looking at the bottom half, I'm going to just highlight it so you can see this is the bottom half of our data. And so the lower quartile is going to be the median of that. Now, as you can probably see, the middle is right there. And so really we've got 2 numbers in the middle. Oops, you can't see that. You've got 2 numbers in the middle. And thankfully in this case, our 2 numbers in the middle are the same. So we're going to just call that 12. That's going to be our lower quartile. Our upper quartile, so then we're going to get that from our other side of data, this side, and it's going to be right in the middle. And now in this case we have 14 and 16. What you want to do is find either 2 choices, and really by doing these you're doing the same thing. You can find the mean of those 2, or you can find the number that is halfway in between those. So we've got 14 and 16, number halfway in between there is 15. So that's going to be our upper quartile. So we have all of our pieces, and at this point what you'll do is you're going to create a number line on the bottom, and so I'm going to get a line here. And this number line, you'll just mark almost like you would a graph, where you have, you know, we might go from 10 to 20 might be the best way to go. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I apologize for them not being evenly spaced. And then at this point, what I do anyways is I'll start with this median, the middle. And my median was 14, so 11, 12, 13, 14, that's going to be this spot here. And then I'll draw these two lines, the ends of my boxes, the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So my lower quartile was at 12. And you just are going to line those up with your number line. And then 15 was the upper, so right here. And again, I'm lining it up with my number line. This is where 15 is. And then from here, I can create the box. And then, so that's where most of our data is. And you can kind of see that is, and I'm going to highlight it in blue. You can see that most of our, actually it doesn't turn out blue because we're highlighting, but most of our data is between these two, the lower quartile and the upper quartile. Then, last part, easy, is your lowest value and your highest value. You are just basically drawing the wings. So I've got this lowest value here at 11, and then my highest value was 18, so 15, 16, 17, 18, right here. And then you just draw in the wings. So when you're doing that box and whisker plot, the most important thing to do is to, and I apologize, it keeps disappearing on me. All right. The most important thing to do is decide those 5 parts. And although they've got some really complicated names, really it's lowest, highest, that's easy. Median is the middle, and then lower quartile and upper quartile are the middles of the bottom half and the top half of your data. And once you find those 5, draw in your lines and then just kind of get the box around it. So hopefully that helps. Try to do that pretty quickly, but that is something that middle schoolers, all middle schoolers, they need to know how to do, is create a box and whisker plot.
Boxes and whiskers and wings. I have no idea what was going on over there.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of data talk.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm done with that stuff. I'm sorry you guys have to do all this work.